Last time on Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Dinner Theater. Archeon the Ever-Chosen bargained for more magic items in Fofo Sifo Sa. Ramses received a new holy weapon after awakening from an extended meditation and then influenced the island with the help of the magic crystal for a while before deciding to leave so he wouldn't end up reliving his father's life once more, and was flown over the sandbox by a mysterious new Manatar ally and headed back into Telorix looking for work so he could afford a ship's travel off the island, and took a job guarding a delivery carriage on its way to his childhood home, and after a long hard journey defeated a gang of bandits only to ride right into an attacking trio of Leonine Lamia just outside the city wall. And now, Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Dinner Theater continues.
Well, I will then use my holy snail flail and attack the other one, but the thing is, since I've already used the swift action ability, I can't invoke Smite Evil again until the one that's fallen
next turn.
is either dead or I use another swift action on myself to target the other one.
So we're going to roll that attack, see if you get one of the ones on your side.
That one's going to be a 13 plus 15.
Yeah, that's a hit.
And for this second one, I'm going to invoke another point of display of strength. So that'll give it a plus 10 on the strength modifier, so the strength modifier will be a plus 16, with the BAB being plus 4. And that's going to be an 18 plus 20.
So 38, it's a hit.
Okay, so now I'm going to roll my 2d6s from the holy attack. And that's going to be a 10. And since I've used 3 mythic points, I'm going to use Display of Strength on one of these to add another plus 10 modifier, so that's going to do plus 16 damage plus the 2d8. 25, because it's Vital Strike 4 plus 6. And then 10 for the second one, so almost 35 after all with everything.
And what about the 10 holy damage? Was that on there too?
No. So yeah, it's 45 then. I didn't add the 10. And that is my roll.
Alright, I'm going to try and attack again. A 17 and a 20 versus your AC.
Not close yet. You know that. I feel like you knew that already, Brian.
I do, but I have to hear it, you know? I got a 21.
That's sadistic.
I got a 21 and a 26 versus your AC, also both hits.
You know it's a hit!
All hits, yeah, I know.
Well,
That's a 26 damage.
God damn.
And you're gonna take 5 wisdom damage.
So that's everything together.
Yep, that's everything. I let the carriage man take another shot. That's enough. Well, it's a 1. So he does get some of the scatter shot, at least in the direction of that one that jumped up at you, but does very little damage to it.
I'm going to go back to the one I was working on, but first I'm going to do a
Swift action cure light wounds.
yeah, that's a 1d8 plus 5. So that's going to be an 11. And I'm going to attack the one I was working on with my holy snail flail.
Do it.
I am going to do my first attack roll. So it's going to be 9 plus 15.
Yep,
24.
that's a hit.
That's going to be a 21.
Also a hit. I'm going to say during this battle you discover that you can stick the sticky end of your flail and the bottom end of your sword together and hold them together like one weapon.
So I got a 9 on
Covered
the
in
holy
mucus.
damage. So that's 16, so that's
25.
25 together right now. So 43 damage altogether.
43, that one's unconscious. Beat the crap out of that one. He's super unconscious. Like, disfigured unconscious. Like, his face is not the same shape anymore.
You got jizz tentacles all in his fucking face.
There's still one more Lamia chasing after you, and your cart has slowed down. You'll notice you're getting close to the city, and the driver has sort of like reduced speed. So this thing is having less and less trouble keeping up, and you think it might even be able to start climbing up on top soon. And it's still at full power. But the driver's going to try to let off one shot as he slows down the carriage. That's only going to be a 12, so just shy. Just barely misses this thing because it's on the other side of the cart of him. So he lets a shot fly, but it goes just over the thing's head. It's going to get an attack. 2 attacks, because it's 2 attacks. It's a 27 versus your AC, and then a natural 20. This would be a 28, so 2 hits and one's a double hit, so that's 15 damage and 2 wisdom drain.
I'm out. I'm at a -5.
Oof.
So I am at -3 overall. My wisdom I had a +2 modifier originally.
You are not wise right now.
I am not wise, but I'm going to make a wise choice, and I'm going to do a channel positive energy on myself.
Alright, you channel positive energy on yourself.
That's only going to get me 6 points back. Take that, take that, take that. Why not? I'll fucking surge it.
Get your HP up.
I am going to fucking attack it with my flail sword thing.
Aurora is made especially for you.
I'll do the long sword because that even gives me a +1 BAB.
Now you just swing the long sword with your 3 balls dangling beneath it.
Exactly, that's what I'm doing. So
Now it's got an extra long handle.
18 plus 16.
That's a hit.
17 plus 11.
Also a hit. 2 hits.
Can I roll a d20? It's d20 plus my CMB to trip, right?
Yep. That'd be the 32.
No, I only got a 25.
No, it does not trip. Does take the damage though.
39 altogether.
Altogether. Your carriage driver is going to let off another shot. That's a miss also though, so he misses again. Yeah, he's just not great. He's driving a carriage and shooting into things on the other side.
Right, is he like holding onto the
Yeah.
horses with one hand
And like
then
shooting,
Do it if he was
shooting a
smart.
shotgun. 5.
Yeah.
So it's an 18 versus your AC.
No, it's a hit.
And then a 15 versus your AC.
How
Yeah,
did you not die?
So that is,
healing checks.
he has been healing himself a lot. That's 13 versus you. That's 13 damage. And one more wisdom
I'm
drain.
on the precipice.
And take one more wisdom damage.
Alright. I'm gonna flip this record and I'm gonna flip out on that fucking line. Lion ladies, I got this.
You know what's really
I got
bad?
this.
Is whenever you were a teenager, you used to have a crush on lion ladies. When you were a young Kelnarin, you used to have like a lion lady fetish. But now you are over it.
Do one more channel positive energy. Alright, I'm going to do my attack with the sword again and try and trip this motherfucker.
Alright. Do the attack first.
And that is going to be a 16 plus 16.
That's a hit.
So that's the, yep.
So then roll versus a CMD of 32.
And my second attack roll is a 5 plus 11, so that's only going to be a 16. So that
That's a miss. Yeah. So your first one hits, so roll 1 CMD of at least 32 to trip it. Oh, 1 shy, just barely.
Come on,
Oh,
Brian.
motherfucker!
No, it doesn't work.
Come
Sorry.
on, Brian.
It was 1 shy. That's D&D rules.
Isn't this bitch tired
And
or
it's
something by now?
D.
She's been running for a
Technical
while. If she's
involved.
running,
Yeah.
she got some kind of penalty.
They almost tripped it.
Yeah, I'm at 30 damage.
It's unconscious.
Woo.
Yay!
You get 3,400 experience.
Hey.
And you arrive at the city of Thalbaron, the town you were born in, etc.
Are you keeping
Ouch.
any of those lion ladies or like?
Yeah, unless you want to stop and loot the bodies or whatever, but...
Do they have any special armor or anything?
Alright, so the driver will stop the cart. They're not wearing any armor, but they all are carrying +1 daggers, so you can take their 3 +1 daggers if you want.
Yeah, I'll take them and sell them.
Nothing else, yeah, it's money if nothing else. Unless you want to, like, skin them or something else, there's not much else you can get off of them.
What about like their fangs?
You can take their fangs if you want to carve them out of their head.
Yeah, they're pelts.
Cat's
or
eyes.
anything?
The lion part of their pelts, the lady part is just like human skin, so it's hard to find a buyer of that. Although there are people that will buy lady human skin. That does exist. The lion pelt's probably easier to find. Although with the lion part of their body, it's probably easier to get money if you lie and just say it's a lion's pelt.
Rather than say it's them.
Yeah, well, they're evil creatures. A lot of people don't like associating with them. So you would know that to make any money off it, like a lot of people would not want to buy this because it's associated with an evil creature, a creature that attacks people. So if you were going to make money on it, you'd probably have to lie. And as a paladin, I don't know how you feel about lying to make money, but
I'm just gonna ride the fucking thing to the city.
all right, you take the 3 daggers though, because that's easy money. Take the 3 daggers, continue on into Thalbaron. Seems to be a little more lawless than when you left. There seem to be bandits kind of about, like hooting and hollering in the streets and hanging out of windows and firing guns in the street.
It's like
Stop
Lost
calling
Boys
the
City.
ladies.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
There do seem to be a lot of like local people, like with their shutters closed, hiding in their homes. So it seems like the bandits have kind of overrun the town. There still are locals that live here that are afraid of the bandits. That look like they're just not doing anything about it. Roll me a perception check.
I got a 5.
Yeah, you don't see anything in particular that's interesting. You just go deliver this package and make your 900 gold.
You're like, huh? hooting and hollering.
Yeah, whatever. People's having a good time. You make your 900 gold. So yeah, you know this city's pretty far out, pretty far away from Telorix, and it's not much interest to the city other than the yearly tax revenue they collect. So it's probably not a very good. I mean, if there is a lawman out here, then he's not doing a good job. So that's pretty much all you would get. But you're kind of only came here to make 900 gold, so you don't think you care that much.
I got my 900 or 800, whatever. What's the amount?
900 gold. That's how much you get. Although if you want to say 800, then the guy keep on 100 because you're not wise. I'll laugh at that too.
Take the money and run.
And the guy's like, yeah, 800 for you. 800 for you, 1,000 for me. Not 900 each.
I think for my lack of wisdom, I would have kept the human. I wouldn't be wise enough to realize that people wanting human skin are not okay.
Yeah. So you can say that you kept it if you want to skin a human.
You could also be dumb enough to be greedy and like kill this guy and take his 900.
You accept the money blankly, and then the job is done. You drop off, you don't really notice, but you drop off paintings and sculptures, but you're not paying much attention.
Yeah.
You don't care. You make your money, your job is done. You now have 900 gold, and the driver lets you keep one of the horses for saving his life, so you now have 900 gold in the horse, and 3 daggers.
Yeah, you just drink the milk out of the camel's hump. That's how it works.
Well, you can try that whenever you leave, but currently you have a horse.
Yeah, I'm going to split that camel's hump right down the middle and drink all that glorious camel milk.
Alright, you kill your horse. Your horse is dead now.
Oh,
There's no milk.
I don't like that.
It doesn't work that way. You're telling me that it's not just for
No, now you just have 2 halves of horses.
Oh.
I'm going to roll Western Restoration to try and build my building model power back up.
Alright, you can roll that.
I got 4 points back, so that's going to take me down to a -4 modifier. That's going to be, so I'm at -2 on my modifier overall. I'm at an 8.
So you're at the point now of like a troll. You will forget or fail to consider options before taking an action. So you're not going to like weigh your options. You're just going to like do whatever. At this point, you've got your gold. You got a horse. What are you doing?
Whatever. You got 2. 2 half.
I'm going to ride the fucking coast.
Roll me a perception check. Although your wisdom's really low, so I don't know.
11.
Or your horse bumps into a very large insect-like creature, a juggernaut of an insect, a large-size monster with 2 large muscly arms and then 4 little tiny arms underneath that, coming out of his rib cage. No, not as really muscly as the top one. So just as you were entering the desert with your horse, like, or right along the side of the coast in the forest, one of these like leaps out in front of your horse. It bird up from underground, so it like leapt out from underneath and scared your horse. I need you to make a ride check to not fall off your horse.
That is going to be an 11.
You're gonna fall off your horse. Roll for initiative.
Damn it! I know I didn't have any rest at all or anything. So.
I got a 20 for initiative.
Oh.
Not natural.
Yeah, you won, Brian. You won the game. Yeah, I don't have any mythic points, and I'm at -48 out of 59 with an 11 AC.
Alright, I'm gonna get this one attack, and then I'm gonna suggest you hop back on your horse with a really good ride check and flee the fuck out of here.
I've got 11 health and 11 AC.
Oh man.
Yeah, so you knocked me unconscious. I know what the roll is, Brian. I
did 12 damage. So I feel really bad.
Turns out the bug was just a
You are
predator.
unconscious. This thing's not going to eat you, but it is going to take your horse. And we'll leave you there with your horse being grabbed and taken down this hole, and you're unconscious. So you'll be able to rest and heal, resting in the desert just outside of your childhood home.
one time.
Yeah. No, you've definitely gone through hell, Pat, and I apologize.
One time.
I don't want it always to be hard for you. I tried to give you a cool snail weapon. So Viva Caligula wakes up in Cersei's hut. Outside of her hut, you hear some grunting noises. Let's say that Viva wakes up whenever you guys return to the hut from your shopping adventures. Viva wakes up, sees all his friends there. They've just returned from somewhere. But you're conscious now. You've slept quite a while after your last encounter with the Grimlocks, but you're somehow safe now. Everything's fine. You're healed up as much as you can be for. You can roll a d20 if you want, also for how long you were asleep, plus Constitution modifier.
I mean, I only have 43 hit points, probably back up. That's going to be a 19 plus con.
Yeah, that's good. D8. Or, it should be D8. Or health.
I'm letting him sleep 20 hours. He's not sleeping just 8 hours. He's sleeping a full rest. And that's the way we do full rest on our house rules of the game.
All the
Yeah,
You can sleep 8 hours, you can sleep 12 hours, you can sleep 20 hours. That's the max. So 19 plus your con modifier, you slept a good long while, but you wake up and then when they come back in the hut, you get all that health back. You're all well rested. What are you guys doing? You just got back from somewhere.
Also,
Right?
that was that gross.
You can peek out the window and you'll see a bunch of zombie grimlocks outside.
I killed that guy.
Yeah, you probably did kill most of those guys.
Yeah, well, we went into this cave, moths, trolls, and Soft Bird came around, started hanging out with us, and then we killed a Medusa, turned into a dude. We don't know where he is now. It's all about. We're in town, but it's awesome.
You guys can call Juan on the bracer if you want, or vice versa.
Yeah, we should probably try to gather everyone. Channel 11, that's the main one. So Jacques and Juan will hear it, and Alex. Alright, yeah, you want to roll perception, Liz?
So 8 UD.
16.
We'll fill her in on everything that we've been up to, the people that we've met, all the stuff that I just told Joey, essentially. And say we're outside of town, hanging out in the hut.
Have you guys seen Kit yet?
Okay, yeah.
So I've been hanging out with this Sazerac dude. He seems really sincere. He won a wizard battle. Yeah, I guess that's it.
Alright, so you report back that he seems sincere, he won a wizard battle.
Am I on the council for, yeah, so I created this, like, advisory council for the dude that you put in power of the city with that ring. That's all that's
Super.
happening.
So you're like helping him run the town?
Yeah. He makes me a bit nervous because he's, really insane, so...
Yeah. Seen a cat around him anywhere? Or a blackish blob thing out the corner of your eye? Because I saw that once when I was like,
Yeah, there's a cat with him.
yeah, anything funky about it that you want to, I don't know.
I guess I didn't notice anything funky. Maybe my perception was not very high whenever I saw
Alright.
the cat.
Just throwing it out there, I got a weird vibe from that cat. Keep an eye out on that, maybe.
Huh.
Something
Okay.
fishy going on with it.
So you tell him you're on this advisory committee,
Yeah,
you checked out Sazerac.
I know it sounds like really lame or whatever, but I don't want to leave the city or get too far away from here until Kit comes back. I mean, in theory, Kit and Aristocles and Jock are like all on their way to the island or to this like particular city right now. So,
But they're not going to be able to find it, so you might as well come out of the city, right? If you want to see them first. They're going to see my hut before they see anything else.
yeah, so do you think I should just like camp outside of the city? But I'm on this guy's advisory committee. I kind of want to keep an eye on the leadership of this town as
Well, then we'll keep an eye out for Kid likewise. You keep an eye on him and that cat, and make sure that things are on the up and up, or else I have to come in there and try to take that ring back.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of nervous about. Is he's got a whole lot of power for someone who's really unstable.
Yeah.
And I think this Sazerac guy will probably do whatever I tell him to. So I kind of think I'm okay there. I was a bit distrustful at first, but he seems alright.
Keep him close. We've had, some new recruits, and I don't know if we can trust them yet, but keep an eye on everything. Keep in touch, and we'll let you know if anything interesting develops on our end.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right, Cersei, out. Yeah.
Places. Bye, y'all.
You wave your bracelet.
Yeah. Alright, so you've caught back up with Juan, you're still outside of the city in your hut. You didn't tell her the big news. You haven't told Viva the big news. I guess the big news hasn't happened yet. I don't know what Harlock's plans are.
Yeah, Cersei just started staring like just eye bullets.
Oh man, when's the moment? When's it gonna happen? What are his plans?
I still got 2 days to kill before the ring.
So you guys have 2 days to do whatever before you can even get the ring.
Go fight some wizard battles, roll around, and try to find something to kill for a couple of days.
Let's go hunting.
Yeah, we do.
We're just killing time. I do kind
Yeah,
of
we're
want to
going
go back
hey,
and
how about
forth
this?
between,
Never mind.
the hut and then inside.
You're down on another one
Magic
party.
herbal things or like go like
Like
foraging
robots?
or
No.
stuff.
Are you leaving the town to go forage?
Yeah.
Alright, so you leave Sazerac's house, you're leaving a note for him? Sneaking
Yeah.
out one morning?
I'll just write like BRB
Alright, you write
and
BRB.
then put a paw.
Oh, yeah.
And put a paw print on the piece of paper that you probably borrowed from one of his spell books or something.
Whatever. I'll
Probably
just
it's like
tear
torch
something
sheeted
out of the
paper.
notebook in his
Yeah.
house. I don't care.
Yeah.
You stepped out in the morning before you
BRB.
woke up.
Yeah, you have to
I
because he's
snuck
not here.
out
So.
before you got it. Before coffee. Yeah.
So you sneak out and go out into the woods outside of the city. How do you leave the city?
The way that I came in, like the gate, right? Because I have
I mean-
one more scroll.
Alright, use your scroll of open to go outside.
Wait, you have to use it to go out?
Now you do, yeah.
Well, I can't leave them because I don't have another one.
If you go through the gate without casting open, you'll be taken to limbo. So if you want to open the door and go to limbo, you can do that too.
No,
Well, then
don't.
those are your
I
two
like
options.
open the door and like see all this like crazy and like okay.
If
Can
you
I
open-
forage inside the city then?
You can, but you're not going to find much. It's going to take a really high percentage chance to find anything. So,
16 and 8.
so yeah, you'll find something in the city.
Ah,
It's a
okay.
wizard town.
Good.
So here's what's going to happen though. You're going to find some stuff outside of an herbalist shop. He's planted like a private garden, but some of the stuff is like just outside the private garden. Like he's got a little tiny fence around it, but some stuff is like grown up on its own, like just outside of the reach of that
Alright, I
private
want to
garden.
steal. I'd like to technically not steal.
All right, so you'll be technically not stealing if you try to take the wild ones that are just outside of the fence. At least in your
They're
druid
technically wild.
mind, you're like, well, these are on public property here. These are like sidewalk plants.
Cool, sidewalk herbs, I'll take it. 'Cause I already have a lot of stuff.
All right, so there's some goblin vine.
Okay.
You can pick that. There are 4 links of goblin vine. You know it can be used to produce an oil that irritates the skin, causing red itchy splotches to cover the affected area. I need you to make a DC 10 Fortitude save because you're handling them.
I didn't ask for this.
So you touch these leaves. A Fortitude save, yeah.
6 and 9.
So that's enough. So you don't start itching, but you know that like if anyone would fail a save, whatever that means in real life, you know that this does make a lot of people itchy. You seem to be immune to it. You probably encountered it when you were, in the forest. But you know, just like your sneezing powder, this is like an itching oil.
Okay. That's not very exciting or fun, but I only found that one thing.
That's one thing you find that's not on private property, yes.
Dang it.
And that was like just barely off of private property.
Steal something.
That sounds a bit evil.
You know me, I always go for murder.
Not evil yet.
I'm talking to the plant to see how they feel.
Ow! Ow!
Yeah,
Ow!
they're probably like, ow, stop pulling that down.
Siobhan stays in town. She's doing nothing. You guys doing anything?
Think about going back to that cave, and because we never got to go down deeper and see if we can find Man.
You want to go back to the cave and see what you find?
All right, yeah. You want to? Oh, I can just heal you, dude.
It's about 8 hours outside of town on foot. If you guys want to walk back into the area of the mountains you went to before with maybe a survival check or a geography or local or history. I'd expect almost any knowledge that you guys could use to find this place again.
20 unnatural and survival.
Yeah. You were just there recently. You could pretty much find that same valley again with the survival.
Yeah,
Tracking your old
right there.
your old footsteps, going through the same areas. With a very low perception, you could recognize basic landmarks that would help you find it. So I'll assume with a passive 10, you can do that. So if you want to lead everyone back to the Grimlock Valley, you may do so.
Follow me. Let's go.
Alright, you're back in the Grimlock Valley, near the mouth of the mini caverns. A lot of larger mouth caverns, which seem to be like very shallow, hovels. And then the one long, narrow cavern that led towards that first treasure hoard and the hallway behind it. Where do you guys go?
The long cave.
Go back into the long cave, walk past all the statues of animals and people that have been stacked up and shoved into this narrow hallway, making it even more narrow as you bristle past all the stone hands and feet and faces of people long forgotten.
Hey,
You
let's
reach.
remember one of them. I got 4 jars of stone salve. We can wake 4 of these puppies up and see what happens. Or would I just make them melt in the puddle? I think it cures petrification.
It cures petrification. Stove salve does cure petrification.
Yeah, I could, spellcrafter knowledge arcana that for you, but you got that.
Yeah. I mean, there's all kinds of creatures. There are humanoids of various types. You can look for a specific type of humanoid and animals of all types.
Should we take a look at some of the humanoids? Do you guys want to do this, or should we just waste the time? We can waste going. All right, yeah. Move on down the line. Let's go to the tunnel then.
All right, you go deeper down the tunnel. You reach that first plateau, which is surrounded by that 60-foot pit full of grasping stone hands at the bottom that seem to rip the troll that fell down there to shreds and grasp most of the coins that fell down there. So a dangerous pit to fall into. Seems 15 foot across to reach the plateau, and another 15 foot across to reach the next hallway. So it takes 2 long jumps to get over this plateau, which is now covered with slick metallic surface of many metals melted together, and the bones of some trolls that have been charred. We're sort of like sticking out of the melted gold, like melded into the gold and other steel and metals.
I can get you over there pretty easy. Are you worried about getting over there? I mean, come on.
Yeah, I can't make it.
How'd you get over there last time?
I mean, I have acrobatics. Like,
That's what you would use.
Well, yeah, you can do it. What are you talking about?
It's going to be 15. Under 15 is falling down a pit. But you can always surge it too, because you have surges. But over 15, you're fine.
I'll do it.
Now, over 40, you fall on the other side of the pit, unless you roll 15 over that. So that is it. Between 40 and 55 is a very dangerous area.
I got 20.
That's enough to make the pit and have 5 foot of, like, space behind you. You made the first jump. Do you wait for everybody else, or do you jump over into the next hallway?
I'll wait for everybody else.
Eva Caligula waits on the golden platform.
Because then if somebody goes shy, I can catch them.
I feel like the only spell that I normally prepare would be fly.
Yeah, I just don't think
Only
that...
up and down. If I can already have fly, I wouldn't think that I've been preparing levitate, but let me see what spell. Oh, no, I have a shit ton of level 2 spells now, so yeah, sure.
Get a running start, just like jump and then levitate across, you know? I mean, I would
push me across!
Yeah. I wouldn't assume you just stop moving forward if you got a running start.
Yeah, as long as you have momentum. But someone could also just stand behind you and tap you, and you would just move forward until you hit an object. So until your spell stops working.
I can cast that through my, one of my cloaks.
So you change outfits really quick.
Alright, Harlock's just gonna levitate across while Will...
How are you gonna levitate across?
Huh?
How are you gonna do that?
You can only go up and down.
Yeah, but I'm gonna get a running start. I still keep my momentum of it.
When it's telling you're supposed to have someone either pull or push you once you cast levitate, but I'll allow it if you really want to like get a running start and try and cast it.
I've got a fun solution. Can I don my cape of wasp and summon a wasp swarm around me while I'm levitating and get them to kind of pull me across?
Yes, that is one of the uses of that cape is the wasp version. You know what? This gives you a fly speed of 20 feet. You don't have to roll anything. It is poor maneuverability, so you're gonna like kind of be wobbling back and forth. You're not gonna be flying very pretty. So they pick up and land. You'll be on the platform. So yeah,
I go to there.
you go to there. You are now on the platform. This one is carried to you.
No, I don't want to be on the platform. I want to go all the way over.
Well, it only flies at 20 feet a turn.
Okay, well I'll hover over the platform.
All right.
I'm gonna cast Spider Climb on Team Caesar with that sheer spell.
Yep. And go on the side of the wall.
Start climbing across.
All right. Yeah, you go sideways across. You make it safely to the next hallway.
Alright, Harlock's gonna cast levitate and Morgan's just gonna fucking shove him across. Morgan.
Alright, I'm gonna say he makes it safely across the platform. Whizzes just past where Cersei's buzzing and makes it like you're actually now sailing into the hallway. You're gonna be the first one into this dark hallway on the other side of the pit.
Alright, and I'll cut that shit off and land right on the edge.
Alright, you cut that shit off and roll me a reflex save to tuck and roll out of it. And then we just have Morgan and Bronze Wizard, I believe.
16 on a reflex.
That's enough to just barely land it. A little better than barely landing it.
Alright, and Morgan is just gonna fucking hop skid after right over this fucking ledge.
Alright, roll it.
24.
Yep, she jumps 24 feet, so she's fine. She lands like in the middle, almost towards the other end of the platform. She's jumped really, really far. She jumped farther than anyone else. If this was a contest, everyone would have to give her the gold medal.
Oh shit, I didn't update my deck. It's actually 20. Yeah, 25.
So yeah, you're fine. You make it. You're in the platform as well. What's Bronze Wizard doing?
I cast a Spider Climb on him too.
Okay, so he climbs as well. Alright, so now everyone's either halfway there or all the way there. Everyone that's halfway there just want to go ahead and make it the rest of the way. Either roll one more jump or do whatever you have to do to get the rest of the way.
I got 21 on acrobatics, so I'll jump the rest of the way.
You make it. Your swarm coat stays on, Cersei. It keeps flying for you, so you make it across.
Yeah, 11 rounds.
So yeah, you got plenty of time. So yeah, you fly across into the hallway. Let's see, who came in first? Was it Harlock? Harlock, roll me a perception check. Do you have dark vision, Harlock? How did you guys get this far without dark vision? I guess I should ask. I keep letting you guys do that because we're gonna, I always forget you guys don't all have dark vision. But anyone without it, how did you see so far?
Light.
Okay. So that'll be what you have right now then too. What do you have light cast upon? A weapon, a coin, a rock?
My dome. No,
Your codpiece? You could put it on your codpiece if you want.
I'll just do it on the top of my morning star.
Alright, so the top of your morning star glows like a light, and as you tuck and roll into this next cavern, you hold the light up, and you will see 31 blind trolls kind of like clamoring about in this tiny room.
Not that bad.
You guys are at the entrance of it. There seems to be another door on the other side, but there's like a minefield basically of 31 trolls kind of like clamoring around, pushing each other, like shoving each other. It's like a big mosh pit almost of trolls.
So they're all pretty close together.
Yeah, they're all within 5-10 feet of each other.
Are we like in there already?
You guys are at the entrance. You're like right at the entrance hallway, which kind of forks out into this room. So you're in a very narrow, like 10 by 10 passageway that opens out into this room. So you guys are about to walk into this. The room kind of dips down. There's like a pit. The slope is not so big that they couldn't walk up and come this way if they wanted to. But it is a slight decline down to a little pit into this room full of blind trolls. In the middle of the room seems to be a secondary pit that's a few feet deeper and full of some sort of like black grass or black moss, some sort of black plant life. And most of the trolls seem to avoid that area, even though they're blind.
Black moss at the bottom of the lake. You know, not touch it. Fall in that pit.
He knows at the bottom of that. I mean, I have Detect Magic. I can just cast it. It's a cantrip. I'll cast it for giggles.
Broadwinter's gonna climb up to the ceiling.
Your climb spell continues. You climb over the trolls' heads.
He's not like at the entrance. Sorry, he's just gonna be up there.
Okay. How long does your climb last? It might be enough to just like.
I think it's a minute per level.
So I don't know. Tell me how many minutes that is. That might be enough time for you to totally cross this room and avoid all the trolls if you go over their heads.
I'm trying to get off the ceiling so they can't hit him.
I mean, if you're on the ceiling, they can't reach you. The ceiling is too high for them. The walls, they would probably touch you, so you'd have to go up to the ceiling for them to miss you in this room, but they seem to be pressed up against the walls because of that black fungus plant growth stuff, black plant life, whatever it is.
Gross.
Mold. Something.
Alright, do we want to... Are we rolling initiative? What are we doing here?
No, they're blind, so until it doesn't seem like until you wander into their pit they can see you, but as soon as you step foot in that pit, they're going to catch wind of you. You're lucky right now that the breeze is not blowing through the caverns. Yeah.
Can I pop off area spells real quick?
Yeah.
I rolled as such they don't notice you, so unless you guys do something to draw attention to yourselves, you're fine right where you are.
Yeah, I can't. That's what I'm trying to find this one thing.
Broadwinter's gonna cast.
I need to change amulets real quick. I'm going to use the amulet that lets me cast four fireballs once per day. I cast 4 fireballs at the same time.
It's still a standard action. You're still casting a spell, and you have to use a spellcraft to use a magic, or use magic item to use it. One of those two.
Yeah, and then I'll roll a fireball down there.
Alright, I'm gonna cast. Harlock's gonna cast. The roof is on fire. 20-foot range. Fog cloud is 20 feet in diameter. That does 66.
Alright, I'll let that hit half of them. Alright, they get a reflex save. Alright. I fail for that half of the group. They're blind though, so makes sense.
That's 20 damage.
Alright, so all those guys are unconscious.
Well, I'm gonna do a sunburst. It's not gonna blind them because they're blind already. But that'll do.
They will do the other
66,
stuff.
or reflex save for partial. 24. 80-foot radius burst.
That does how much damage?
6, so 24. And that's a reflex save for partial.
I rolled a 14 versus the DC of that spell.
So 14.
So we tie, I'll let you win. So that'll do full damage.
24 damage. It does double damage if its sunlight hurts them. Ultraviolet light generated by this spell deals damage to fungi, mold, oozes, slimes, as if they were undead creatures. Searing radiance.
Okay, so it's searing red, so it'll still work on them even though they can't see. And it will affect this black stuff. Alright, so all these trolls are unconscious at least. Not dead, but all of them are unconscious at this point. Some of them are on fire, so you feel like you could easily pass over them now. Still avoiding this black plant-like substance in the middle of the room if you like. Which still seems to be fine.
Yeah, can we do knowledge nature? Or do detect magic, spellcraft, arcana?
Yeah, you can do that.
Oh, knowledge nature.
I
I got 11.
I'll just cast detect magic on it as well.
Alright, so yeah, it has a somewhat magical aura. It's not a normal plant. For sure. It's definitely a magical plant of some type.
Alright, do you want arcana for me to figure out what kind of magic it is? That was natural 20.
Natural 20 there, man.
It seems to be some sort of conjuration magic, as if this plant was a hybrid of some sort of magic life and plant life that was conjured up from somewhere that does not come from this place.
Okay. You want to plane?
So it's fake?
I'll do a knowledge plane.
Sure.
Natural 1.
Yeah, you can't tell what plant it comes from. You can only tell that it's some sort of...
Nat 20 to nat 1.
Yeah, some sort of like wavy black tentacle-like grass. It also seems to break up like a mold would, like as a... it has just a bunch of tiny tentacles and a bunch of large... It has a bunch of different sized tentacles, but it seems to be a plant, not an animal.
Can we throw, push one of the flaming troll, or ogres or whatever into it?
Yeah. You push one into it, the tentacles wrap around it, and they get larger actually and grow to encompass the body. And just like
But it's got fire
squeeze...
damage.
Yeah, squeeze the life out of it.
Oh.
Yeah, but he's on fire.
Not once they suffocate it with their black tentacles. They put out the fire.
Not taking any damage for grabbing onto something that's burning?
This plant does not, no. Fire does not seem to affect this plant at all. It smothered the fire.
Alright, so so what do you guys want to do? Fire's not going to work on it. We can't just go around it.
Freeze it.
Yeah, we could, but I could also try a different element on it. Or
Gust of wind.
How tall is this mossy grass?
I mean, it seems very short, but like I said, it grew whenever it was fed. So it seems like if you get close to it or touch it, the tentacles seem to be able to increase in size. Yeah, they become engorged and feed on whatever humanoid life falls into this area that they encounter. There does seem to be what looks like a salt ring around it, preventing it from growing any larger.
Oh.
But you will notice the troll that just got pushed in there broke the salt ring, and now the plant life is slowly expanding out and starting to just grow at a very rapid rate.
Put the salt back.
You would know, I mean, you would be able to guess that maybe in 7 rounds it might envelop this whole room.
Whatever rounds are.
Yeah.
Is this room the end of this tunnel? Like, is there anything past this?
And there's another door past this, just like the one you just went through, another like rock hallway full of statues.
Yeah. Kill it now while it's small.
Yeah. Alright.
Either that or leave.
We're not going to fight it.
Okay, well, how about I cast Cone of Cold on it and we see what happens?
You cast Cone of Cold at this plant.
Reflex for half, but I don't think it's got much of a reflex. It's a plant.
It's a plant, yeah.
So I'm going to roll 6d6 of cold damage and hope that maybe some of it sticks. 18 damage.
Alright, you shoot a Cone of Cold in this direction. Other than some of the tentacles seeming to flutter out of the way, does not seem to affect them.
Alright, anybody got anything else they want to do? Cold and fire don't seem to do it.
Water it.
Acid on that motherfucker!
Grease fire.
Sonic or Force, that always works.
Hey, cast light on something and throw it in the middle.
Yeah, scream at it.
Dark? Oh, that's black.
You already cast light, didn't you?
Okay, damn it, Joey. I had the bullet
Light's already going on, and you guys couldn't see this stuff.
black.
Harlock's got light on his mace, so you guys can see everything. This room is lit by a magical light.
Lit as a motherfucker right now.
Can I try and shoot it?
You can.
Well, I don't know. I thought maybe
Trying to let people do their spells.
Can I cast light on his bullet?
Yeah, you can cast light on his bullet.
Cast light on the bullet.
Cast light on the bullet before he loads the gun.
That's a tracer round.
Did you guys...
19 to hit.
Alright, yeah, your bullet hits the area where this black stuff is, but it just seems to wrap around the bullet and slow down its speed when it gets really close and swallow it up. It vanishes.
Gravity fucking.
Yeah, rage, but what? Am I gonna do? Just swing my sword at it and let it eat my sword?
Alright, yeah, I got enough. Yes, we gotta get...
Alright, so the plant life grows outside of the circle. It's now down to 6 rounds before it envelops the whole room.
Can I dump some arsenic on it?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. It's D&D.
I got 3 vials of arsenic, and I want to upend one of it, like right around where the salt is, or like where it's coming out with the salt ring.
It almost like reaches up thirstily for it.
Good, great, grand.
Yeah, let's fucking.
You see little tentacles like curling around and poking out at the end, like tickling the end of the jar, trying to get every last drop.
Alright, so I guess we're leaving?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm out. Terrible idea.
Yeah, I got nothing. Alright, go. We're leaving the cave.
Alright, you then leave the cave. Get back the way you came. You have to jump 15 foot to get back to the plateau, and then 15 foot again to get back to the other hallway.
Acrobatics. Good. Natural 1.
I'll cast Levitate on him. Move him back up.
Alright, you cast Levitate on him, saving Viva Caligula from falling down the pit. He floats steadily back up. He's now hanging above the 60-foot fall. But you can tap him with your hand if you want to push him forward.
Nah, let us show you something. I've done enough.
You're gonna try and swim. You move very, very slowly, inch by inch, swimming through the air forward,
You should try doggy paddle.
struggling.
How did I get there?
Roll for parts.
Farts help.
Harlock's gonna levitate, and Morgan's gonna jump in. That's 27 feet, and the second jump is 21 feet, so she's good.
Alright. I'm gonna give you guys experience points for those trolls. How many of you are there total? You each get 2,647 experience.
Okay.
For wasting all those trolls in 2 moves. And fleeing a cave. Yeah. You guys wanna roll me a knowledge nature or arcana?
Yeah.
I'll roll nature.
Oh yeah, I probably should have rolled that too.
I got a 16.
I have a really good knowledge nature. Sorry guys, I'm an ass.
I got a 15.
I got 28.
Alright, Cersei will say at the rate that thing is growing, because it is growing very fast, it seems like it comes from some other plane. It's not a natural plant to grow that fast and spread that fast. It seems like only the salt was preventing it from growing. And unless you guys draw a new salt line around it, there's no telling how big it can grow.
Alright, well, let's go to town. I'll teleport back to Fosa, buy some salt, and we'll line the front of the cave with it.
Alright, so you teleport twice to make it really fast.
Yeah.
Alright, use 2 teleports, and you spend 8 gold on enough salt to create a new ring around it.
8 gold.
So you bought enough salt to be safe.
Pink pill man.
I'll say that you have, I'll give you...
Twice that much, just in case.
Yeah.
I'm buying.
I'll say you only end up using 2 pounds of it, so you can have 6 pounds of salt left for later.
Oh, good.
Yeah. It's
Yep,
pink.
I'll
It's
throw
pink
that
crystal salt. It's
The
nice
pink
salt.
Himalayan
It's
rock
that pink
salt.
Himalayan rock salt. So yeah, you guys will you'll teleport right back and draw a new line around the thing. So now it's prevented from moving any further. So now you guys, if you could acrobatics over it, could make it to the next door. Now there's sort of like a black patch of this plant blocking this ring. So there's like a ring of trolls with the top part of the ring broken over by the door. And the black plant kind of spread up that way, and it's kind of blocked off, so you'd have to be able to jump over to get over it somehow to get down the next hallway if you want to move forward.
We have to jump over the black stuff? Okay, hang on. Does anyone have... I've got a little cauldron here. What if I dump some of this shit ton of salt that I have into this cauldron? One of you guys create some water. We'll make some salt water and throw it on this bitch and see what happens.
I like that.
That's good.
Create water. Create water in my cauldron, please, if we're going to make...
Alright, you guys make salt water.
Solution.
Yeah.
Alright, you make a saline solution, you dump it on this plant life.
Yeah.
Alright, that seems to repel it. Yeah.
Well, did it hurt it?
Does not hurt it, but it does repel it. Does seem to, like, where you pour the salt water, it does not grow. So let's say you use 1 more pound of your salt, so you use 3 of your 6 pounds, I believe, at this point.
Okay, that's fine.
But I'll say you've made it easier to jump over. You've dumped it on an area that's made it much, much easier to jump over. You don't have to jump like 5 feet to get over it now.
It's like when clams pull their foot back in, they're like, ooh.
Yeah. You made a sploosh that it can't cross.
Yeah, let's jump this shit.
Alright, I'm in.
You're only gonna do an acrobatics above 5.
Yep, I'm good. I got 16.
I got 10 minutes per level on this spider climb. Well, does teleporting take long enough that that's done, or?
I mean, teleporting's instant, so you're fine. I mean, I'll assume it only took Cersei like 2. I'll see how many minutes it took her. It took her 4 minutes to buy that salt, so.
Could stand in line.
Other than that, it was instant. So if you want to take away 4 minutes from your spider climb, minus however much you've already used, it's probably 2. So you'll say you have about 4 minutes left, probably.
Alright, well then I guess I'm still... Yeah, so I'll still be using my levitate and cloak of wasps.
Alright, so you flew over the little 5-foot black tentacle area. Bronze Wizard make it? Does Caesar make it? Does everybody else that's with you make it?
I like in Morgan, dude. I've seen spider climb.
So you guys are able to climb around it. You guys into the next hallway, just full of like a lot of broken statues that have been crumbled. So you see a lot of pieces of faces and pieces of arms and fingers and toes and there's broken up, busted statues. Roll me a perception check.
9.
22.
17 plus 14, a lot.
Was that for Morgan?
31. Yeah, of course.
Alright, Morgan definitely sees and Viva thinks that he sees some sort
I
of...
have full light vision too.
Okay, and the light's in there. So yeah, you see it also with that low light vision and you guys have casted light. So that's enough. The two of you will definitely see a dark black creature that's making some sort of crunching noise moving in the back of the room in the shadows where your light doesn't shine yet. And it's like darted away as you guys enter this hallway. It's sort of like probably crouching in one of the corners now in the shadows. But it's making a crunching sound almost like it's gnashing rock.
I can throw a couple of dancing lights over there and we can see what we're going for, but that, I mean, it knows we're here. It's got a light on.
It might be blind.
Okay, well, but still that way we don't have to get close to it. I can just send the dancing lights over there.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I can do it.
Alright, so I think I create 4 balls of light.
Yeah, you do. They dance over by it. Roll me a perception check after you light it up.
22.
28.
28.
You see an eyeless creature that looks sort of like a giant pill bug that seems to be like gnawing away at the rocks.
You mean roly-poly?
Like a roly-poly, yes. It's just like eating stones. Like rolling them into his mouth and like slowly making them smaller and smaller until they become like polished like spheres.
Like a
So-
roly-poly dung beetle.
Yep, so over in the corner there are lots of tiny stone spheres about the size of a baseball where it's piled up into like, you know, eaten every usable bit of these statues except tiny little remnants of them.
Oh, did you? No.
Yeah, I'll roll that. 29.
21.
Yeah, whatever it is seems to eat stone, so you'd be wise to probably keep Alec Holland away from it. It doesn't seem to have any eyes. It seems to be using its feelers and some other senses to, like, find stone. It doesn't seem to be eating all the stone in the room, or would have, like, dug all kinds of tiny holes in the wall, although there are some. Its main appetite seems to be for these stone statue remnants.
People rocks.
People rocks, yeah. So rocks with some sort of life essence. That's why you would know Alec would probably be in more danger than just a normal stone would be. So it seems to be feeding on the life essence inside these other rocks. So dead rocks seem to be, it can burrow through, but it's much less interested in them for sure.
Yeah, well, and have my interposing hand up for +4 to my AC.
Alright, your AC's beefed up.
Good.
Has an invisible hand that's standing in front of you, blocking anyone from attacking you from the front.
I mean, it's pretty busy. I think we get to jump on it.
Yeah, it seems to be snacking on something. And like I said, it can't see you. It seems to have a very limited field of perception. It seems to feel the area directly around it.
How far away are we from this guy?
About 15 feet.
Oh, word.
Alright, Harlock's gonna start off casting Sanctuary on himself. And then Morgan is gonna do her thing. So that's 27 to hit on the first, a 17 on the second, natural 1. That's I'm gonna have to use a grit point to quick clear, a misfire. Last one is an 18. So was it 27, 18, 18, or 18, 17?
Either way, those are all hits.
So that's 64 damage total to it.
Alright, it explodes.
Okay. I thought that was gonna be less stronger.
No, you blew it to fucking bits, man. You blew up this giant insect. It's only about the size of a small dog, like a terrier-sized insect.
Oh, you blew up a dog.
Overkill.
It wasn't that big. It was bigger than a normal insect, but it was, like I said, eating small stones, pieces of statues. Yeah, you blew it to bits, man. It's in little bits all over the place.
What, so it poops out round rocks? How big are they?
Like I said, about baseball-sized.
We roll a phrase on it?
Yeah, I can roll an appraise on that.
You gonna collect the poop?
Yeah, those would be awesome with quick shot.
I got 29 on appraisal.
When you know that they seem to be finely polished stone balls. Like they look like as if they had been polished by a fine craftsman. Spheres like this in magic towns, like Wizard Town, Witch Towns, people that might use them for something, or a town that might use them for cannonball fodder, like artillery. You might be able to make as much as 6 gold per. That's like high end. If you're able to like really dip low it, you might make 6 gold per. You might make less than that without that, but you might you feel like you could get that. You feel like you could probably get 6. Ask Cersei. You're like, I bet I get 6 gold per every one of these I sell.
Alright, how much do they weigh?
2 to 3 pounds. There's about 96 of them.
I'll take some balls and put it in one of my bags of holding.
Alright, take out the best. There's 96, so subtract whatever number you take from 96. That's how many are left. If anybody else wants some.
I'm taking that poop.
Around. Well, you just want to do a perception check to do anything else good or anything?
28.
23.
And this room just seems to be statue remains and like this bug. Like I said, 2 small holes in the wall. You hear some activity in one of the holes, probably another one of these bugs, like in the wall. But other than that, you just see another door in front of you. Nothing else like treasure-wise in this room. Are you want to do a knowledge nature or dungeoneering on those balls?
21 on nature.
My nature is better, so I guess I'll do
What'd you get?
26.
Yeah, with all of you together, you all know a whole lot. These balls seem to be composed mostly of like calcium, magnesium, some trace minerals, sodium, phosphorus, chloride, definitely carbon.
Can I use some of that with like alchemy maybe?
Yeah, I'm sure you can. If you could break it apart, if you had some sort of alchemist kit or lab, you could
I have a portable alchemy lab and I have the alchemy craft.
With that, you could separate these balls into separate vials of each of those elements if you like. For every one ball you collect, you could make a vial of each one of those elements.
Alright.
You guys into the next room?
Can I have a periscope. Can I use it to peer around the corner when we get there?
Yeah, use your periscope and roll perception with it.
Yeah, I take a -4 on objects like more than like 120 feet away or something like that. Natural 20.
You poke your periscope around the corner, and your periscope is now face to face with a giant white moth hanging on the wall upside down, right next to where your periscope's peering around the corner.
I'll, duck back around the corner and whisper to the other guys, hey, there's a moth around that damn corner. We're going clockwise.
All right, so you guys, are you rushing through this hallway into the next room?
I say we kill it. Yeah, we're gonna fight the moth.
Yeah, we'll rush in.
All right, who's rushing in first?
I will.
All right, roll me a reflex save or start screaming.
Yeah, 20 on reflex.
Not natural.
Not now.
Alright, you skid to a halt as you realize that the pathway in front of you ends, and the next room drops down a distance you can't see. It's too dark to see how deep this pit goes, but this next room is basically a very large pit.
Holy shit.
You know what deep though?
Yeah.
though. You know, are you gonna attack this thing or?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can catch myself.
Well, I ran and stopped at the edge, so I guess.
Yeah. It would be difficult for you to reach the moth. It's like hanging sideways on the wall just inside this room, so you'd have to like reach around the corner of this wall to hit it. You'd be like leaning towards this big chasm. So you can still try it, but it's gonna be dangerous.
Okay. Weapon. I can charm it. I do have charm on here.
I get a will save. I rolled a 4 plus 5 is only 9. That's not enough to negate, so it's charmed.
That is not.
So it regards you as friendly. As long as you don't attack it, it'll regard you as friendly. You still need a handle animal check to convince it to let you ride it or something like that, but...
Really what I want to do, I want to ride down there and see what's down the bottom of this here pit.
Does it go across? Is there something across the way?
Perception check.
19 to 30.
Yeah, there's another, like, doorway, like another chasm across the way from here. Another hallway. Each of these caverns just goes deeper and deeper into the mountains. You guys are slowly descending.
So you want to? You said a handle animal check
To try and ride it, yeah. Or to try and convince it to let you ride it. It'd be a ride check to ride it, but a handle animal to convince it to let you, now that it's charmed.
Yeah, it's an 11 on my handle animal check.
Alright, so not great. It's friendly towards you, so it's not gonna, like, attack you or anything, but it doesn't seem like it wants you to ride it. It doesn't come any closer to you when you try to, like, call it over. So regard you as friendly. It's not attacking you, but it's not coming closer. It's not letting you just climb on it.
22.
Yeah, that's good enough that you're able to sort of, like, convince the moth to come a little closer. You can roll a ride check to try and mount it.
Morgan, try and ride this thing.
Yeah, anyone can try and ride it if they're close enough. It's, like I said, it's kind of right to the edge of this precipice now, so you're gonna have to try and like leap. You're gonna have to like leap off from where you are onto its back. It's gonna be only a 5-foot jump, so not a big jump. So I'm gonna let you take a passive 10 on the jump, but I'm gonna need you to make a ride check to stay on its back and not have it buck you.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
And then probably a handle animal to make it calm down, and then a ride check to control it.
I rolled a 12 on my ride check.
Alright, so that's not great. It's gonna start bucking you. I need you to roll a reflex save to not fall off. As it flaps its wings and starts moving around very wildly.
21 on a reflex.
Alright, so you're holding on tight, Buck and Bronco style. I'll let you roll another handle animal to calm it down, or a ride check to try and, you know, get in the so-called saddle better. Whichever one you like.
I'll do a ride check. 18.
Alright, so you buckle your legs down, you sort of get a better grip on it. It's still not calm though, so it's still like kind of reacting kind of wildly. Not attacking so much, but it's still like, you know, something's grabbing me, I'm freaking out.
Alright, I'll try and calm it down with handle animal.
Alright.
That's a 20, not natural.
Alright, that's enough for you to like stroke its head. You're like, ooh, calm down, calm down. It stops fluttering a little bit. It's now relaxed again, laying against the wall. You're sort of like hugging it, but it's a white moth. You're getting like white residue all over your clothes right now. But it seems to have calmed down enough that you can like hold it and it's not freaking out. Now, if you want to make it fly somewhere, you need to roll a ride check to control it to make it, you know, make it do something.
How big is this thing? Is it enough to carry people?
It's enough to carry one, max 2. It might be able to handle 2 of you, but that's just like a horse. That's probably the most it could probably carry.
So we could possibly use it to try and carry people back and forth.
As long as you can maintain some sort of control over it, yeah.
Surge our way across, man.
How big is this chasm? Is it fucking...
It's about 90 feet across. They're definitely not jumpable.
Down there, but we have to get back up.
And Morgan's still hugging this moth. The rest of you guys are kind of like hanging out on the edge of this hallway precipice, looking over the dark edge.
Just levitate everyone. I have rope to everyone's weight. Morgan can fly across.
Yep, 90 feet across. And Morgan's already hugging this moth. Do you want to let her try and ride it and see what happens?
We really want to lose them.
You can try to. Someone else would ride check. Like I said, it could probably fit 2 of you. If someone else wants to try and ride it with her, so you can at least, if you do get across, at least 2 of you will get across instead of just one. Whoever has the highest handle animal check be the person that drives it and have different riders every time. I'd be okay with that.
Do you have a control rope?
But how long are your ropes? Are they only 50 foot? Unless you guys have 2 ropes you can tie together.
Morgan has one. If somebody else has a rope. I have climbing gear. Does that count a rope?
Climbing gear does come with a rope, yeah.
I have climbing gear as well.
Alright, so that's about that.
You guys tie 2 ropes together. Roll me a survival check to tie a strong enough knot.
24.
Yeah, you tie a really good knot. The 2 of these ropes are now tied together. You have 100. You have a 100-foot rope.
Give me some pitons so I can anchor it on the other side and a hammer or whatever.
Alright, you give Morgan how many pittons, and where does this hammer come from? You guys have a hammer and pittons? The pittons come in the rock humming kit.
Tie one of them into the rope to you, and we'll make sure to have the other one secured on the side.
Alright. So, well, let's secure the one on this side first. Yeah, so that way, if you do fall, yeah.
Alright, so you guys toss Morgan a rope while she's hugging the back of this moth. Roll me a reflex save to catch the rope, Morgan.
26.
Alright, you have the other end of this 100-foot rope, and you're clutching the back of the moth with the other hand in your legs. So you're now riding this thing with only one hand instead of two hands because you're holding this rope, unless you want to tie it around yourself and then grab back on with two hands.
We'll tie it to a split if he's close enough.
You can tie it to her ankle. She's within 5 feet if you lay on your side.
Tie around your own weight.
Fine, whatever. Whatever's happening is fine. As soon as they say they're insecure, I'll start flying over.
Alright, so one end is tied to Morgan's ankle. Is the other end tied to anything, or are you just holding it, or what?
You already set the pin. Wanted to do that.
Alright, you set a pitton on this side.
Yeah.
The side that you're on, you tie the rope around it.
Yep.
Alright, so if you're going to try and fly this moth, roll me a ride check to try and make it do something.
Ready to grab that rope just in case. Yeah. Are you ready in action there, bud?
I'll tell Caesar.
Ride, ready
Tell that.
23 on ride check.
Alright, so this is Morgan. She grew up as an orphan, but even orphan elves learn how to ride at a young age. You know how to ride a horse, you try that same technique on this. It seems to be working a little bit. You get it to sort of, it recognizes you. It recognizes you're trying to control it, trying to ride it. Roll me a fly check to try to make it take off.
22.
Alright, it's flying. It's now left the wall. And you should make a ride check to make it fly the direction you want it to fly. Or a fly check. Ride or fly, whichever one's better for you. I'm okay with the one in this kind of situation. 17?
No, it's 25. I was counting it out loud.
Alright, so you start flying across the chasm. You're about halfway across the chasm. The rope is sort of like drooping in a lazy U-type shape, a parabola, as it starts to drape across the chasm. Roll me another ride or fly check to make it the rest of the way.
21.
The moth is able to fly you all the way to the other side. Roll me a ride check or a handle animal to make it land.
A 15. Ride check to jump off of it onto the ledge.
Well, the ride check is just to make it land. You'll have to roll an acrobatics to jump off. It's coming in for a landing, and I will say you probably need to roll an acrobatics because it's not a very smooth landing. So you want to leap off, roll me an acrobatics check.
19.
That's just barely enough. You even sort of 1 foot slips off the edge and rock crumbles beneath it. You notice like little bits of pebbles. So like 1 foot makes it, the other foot catches the edge. Pebbles fall down. You're like, whoa, that was a very, very close one. Roll me a reflex save to roll out of it, not take any jump damage because you only just barely made it. It's 3 damage if you roll a successful reflex save. I'll let you take 0 of it if it's successful.
Reflex. 17 on a reflex save.
That's enough that you take none of the damage. You stumble forward, but you're on the other side now. You have the rope tied to your ankle. The rope is now almost taut. If you walked 3 or 4 more feet, it would be exactly 100 feet and it would be taut. So the rope's pretty tense at this point.
I'll bang in a couple pits.
Alright, so you have some pittons. What are you banging it off with?
I'll use the butt of my musket.
So you hammer it in, and roll me a survival check to tie a good knot on that side.
Or untie the ones that we tied around your ankle.
22.
Alright, you feel like you tie a pretty secure knot on the other side. What do you want to do? Like yell across, let them know it's safe, or?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they can hear me. It's only, 90 feet?
Alright, so what do you yell?
Tied off on this end.
Roll me a perception check.
Yeah,
22.
Got 11.
19.
Morgan and Alec hear a rumbling from below.
Super. Now we're split up.
So yeah, you now have a 90-foot chasm to cross with only a tight rope to walk across or hang across, however you want to try and cross that. But and only 2 of you have heard a noise below. I don't know if you articulated that to everyone else, but
I heard a noise below.
Something's coming.
What danger awaits our heroes from the bottom of the pit? Tune in next time to find out on Long Distance Dungeons and Dragons Dinner Theater.